team from start to finish this year, and you've still got this game tonight, that the way to progress and the way to get better throughout the season, you're playing your best basketball right now, and that's the goal every year, even in this uncertain year. That's where to me, is that where you think your team is at right now?
I still think we have to move to improve on. We are playing better basketball, but we're not
Let's, I guess, without going into too much detail and giving away your entire scouting report, where do you want to progress? What areas of the game would you like to progress on the most as you head into the most important time of the year, Coach?
in the right direction. But we still, no team is perfect, but right now, we have to improve our three-point shooting.
Joe Anderson's the head coach of the Burris. The matchup for the Delta Eagles this evening. Coach, a number of things that have been a very productive week for you. Again, that Blackford game that you referenced a couple days back, and then the game you had against Muncie Central earlier this week, defeating the city rival for the first time in over a half century. And then Grant Jones, your senior, scoring 1,000 points, the first Burris to do that in just a little more around a decade. It's been some time. I guess overall from the culmination of this week, and the focus always is when you're the week before sectional time that way, but has it been hard to focus on what's coming up with all the milestones and all the different experiences you've had just in this week, Coach?
No, sideline. I think that Collins is jumped up and gone, giving him a fair hug. And then you factor in the win against Central. I kind of thought that maybe we would come out flat last night against Blackford, but we preached to the kids about being consistent. Winners. We have to learn to adjust. And I think this year it's been more trying for us because we've played so many different styles of ball play this year. So it's really prepared us, I believe, going into sectionals and then between Grant and those younger kids. They got a full season last they get ready, for this year. And at the beginning of the year, it started off rough for us. Everyone else was going through the same thing in regards to dealing with the COVID situation, contact tracing and all that. But our kids, they've done a good job of, having those
Well, Coach, the season concludes, regular season concludes, that is, tonight against Delta. And, speaking of styles, this is one of the more unique styles you'll see. They do have bringing on a fantastic player on both ends of the floor, but the way they play defensively, keeping scores really in that 40s range is really their sweet spot. So when you analyze the way that Delta's gotten to this point and the style in which they played, how do you prepare for a style like this?
With him, you have to minimize on the offensive end. Brady is an athlete. Especially out there wanting to play more now today. And, after last night's game, against Glasgow, he moved well. From the outside, they brought in what the coach wanted them to do. They understand their roles. I know for us, we have a chance to win. We have to keep them off the board, and we have to continue to take care of the basketball, but value possession.
Joe Anderson's the head coach of the Burris tonight. The matchup for the Delta Eagles at Delta High School this evening. Coach, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you after.
All right, thank you.
When we return a conversation with Mark Detweiler, the head coach of the Delta Eagles, that's next on the Lehman's Incorporated pregame show. You're listening to Muncie Sports Station.
Can you make it?
Basketball on Muncie Sports Station.
Welcome back into the Lehman's Incorporated pregame show here on Muncie Sports Station, 102.9 FM, 1340 AM, and Source WXFN on your phone's apps. For tonight, the regular season finale for the Delta Eagles. They host area opponents. The Burris also a potential sectional opponent down the road next week. We head back to our pregame interview sponsored by State Farm agent Jason May. We're joined by Mark Detweiler, the head coach of the Delta Eagles. Coach, got another win last night against Oak Hill. You now move your record to 15-4. And when you sent this out last night, it stood out to me as well. Was you guys are perfect 8-0 on the road, and you close out your regular season schedule, winning every game on the road. Clearly, it's been different from capacity restrictions, all those things, but just getting yourselves out of a comfort zone every time you go on the road, it's just out of rhythm from the difference of being at home. How significant is 8-0 on the road to you with the schedule and the way your team's progressed?
Right. It shows, well, I think the biggest thing is the defense really plays hard, and even travel, so we live on that before this group already, the energy that we got guys playing with and the rebounding piece, and, those two things, we guys to do some things now. We talked to Brady a week or so ago, and just basically said how proud we were of him and how he's allowed guys to throw around and early year where he needs to put up 25 for us to get 50. Now he doesn't have to, and we've got multiple guys stepping up. But yeah, to go on the road with this, what we've done. Last week, going to Shelbyville with one practice and getting a hard-fought win there, and then going on a Thursday night to Oak Hill, a very good Oak Hill team, and getting a win there. Kind of a testament to how this group plays.
I got a hunger burning inside me, satisfied by just one thing. So I run to the phone and dial the number for Pizza King. I'm gonna ring the king. The king delivers. I'm gonna ring the king. An incredibly delicious royal feast pizza on the best crust you ever tasted. Ring the king. Pizza King.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
Sparks Computerized Car Care on West Bethel Avenue in Muncie is your complete auto service and maintenance shop in Muncie. Family owned and operated since 1990 with over 100 years of combined experience. Standard maintenance, tire service, brake repair, engine transmission, and more, Sparks Computerized Car Care will take care of you bumper to bumper. Schedule an appointment online at sparksauto.net. That's sparksauto.net. Sparks Computerized Car Care in Muncie.
The legacy I want to leave behind is a better world. My father was in the Army, my grandfather was in Vietnam, my uncle was in Vietnam. It's just in my blood. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing once you look at it and see the bigger picture of it all. I just feel like we don't have enough people who want to step up and lead anymore. That's how I try to live my everyday life. I try to just help young people. That's our future. And so if we can build them up at a young age, it's their world at that point. I just want this world to be better than what I came into. The legacy I want to leave is just to build young people and to make them stronger, mentally and physically. I'm Private Christian Souffrant. I'm a 92 Yankee Unit Supply Specialist with the Tennessee National Guard.
they need to continue to ride this momentum, 9 out of 10, play like the defending, two-time defending sectional champions, and finish this regular season right. For Burris, get over that 500 hump. Use this as a tune-up for next week. You played a tough schedule this week, and gear up for next week.
We're back after this on Muncie Sports Station.
First, let's meet the Muncie Burris Owls. 30, Adam Burns. 11, Ethan Hartsoe. 13, Connor McKibben. 22, Colby Graham. 23, Clayton Garrison. 24, Nick Brown. And 54, Ian Kowalski. Starting for the Owls at guard, a 6-foot sophomore, number 4, Bryce Carnes.
Group here to guide you through one of the biggest processes you and your family can make. Whether it's buying or selling, Karen's expertise is what you need to take that next step. Please remember Karen Dolan Coldwell Banker Real Estate Group guided you home. It's Delta in Burris in the regular season finale. Let's introduce the starting lineups for tonight's game. They're brought to you by Mitch Pippin Law. The visiting Burris Owls led by 7th-year head coach Joe Anderson. 99 overall record this season. Away from home, they're 3-6. The guards consist of Colin McBride. He's a 5'9 sophomore. Josh Stevenson is a 5'10 senior. Connor McKibben is a 5'11 junior. The forwards are Carter Fisher, a 6'1 sophomore, and their leading scorer and 1,000-point scorer Grant Jones in the middle stands at 6'4. He is a senior. Delta led by 4th-year head coach Mark Detweiler, 15-4 this season. Delta has a chance at the conference title tonight with a little bit of help from Yorktown. They'll have at least a share at home this season. They are 7-4 winners of their last 7. The starting lineup starts with Blake Jones. He's a 5'9 sophomore point guard. Neil Marshall's the off guard. He's a 6-foot junior. Logan Maynor, a forward, starts. He's a 6'2 senior. Brady Hunt, a 6'5 senior. And Riley Wooden, a 6'2 senior. The lineup's brought to you by Mitch Pippin Law. When players get injured, they have a team of doctors that help get them back on the field. If you've been injured, think you may have a claim, you may need a team as well. Call Mitch Pippin for a free consultation at 282-0282 or visit his website. It's MitchPippinLaw.com. Rob, this matchup, the last 3, over 30-point margin of victory averaged by Delta. We don't expect that type of game tonight as Burris much more competitive this year, 9-9, and Delta really isn't running away from any type of opponent this season.
No, and that bodes well for both teams going into the sectional. Delta's played a lot of close games. Burris has played a lot of these good teams here in the last week, playing Muncie Central, getting that victory over them earlier this week, playing Blackford Wednesday night. This should be a fairly good game, a fairly close game.
The pregame show has been powered by Lehman's Incorporated since 1930. Lehman's Incorporated Muncie has been providing the same quality service to heating and air conditioning units. They are the trained comfort specialist for the area. They're Lehman's. They're here for you. Remember, it is hard to stop a train. Here is the tip-off. It's sponsored by Sheriff Gosselin Roofing. Grant Jones and Brady Hunt do the duties, and Burris will win the tip. They are in their royal blue away uniforms. Colin McBride, the point guard, brings it to the top of the key. Delta going to open up in a man-to-man look defensively. Carter Fisher, right perimeter, swings it top of the circle to Bryce Carnes. Couple of dribbles, get it to McBride in the corner, and back out on the perimeter, Carnes. Shadowed by Blake Jones, the sophomore point guard has started the season from start to finish this year. On the right wing, Stevenson into the post. Jones double team, kick out Carnes. A three, and Hunt blocks it on the perimeter. He recovered to that left wing, and Delta on the move. Here's Maynor in the corner. Pivots at the baseline. Feeds Brady Hunt. He's surrounded by two players. Turns over his left shoulder and powers through Grant Jones for a two-handed layup.
Good start for Delta. Brady Hunt on the block is tough to stop no matter who's down there.
And transition-wise, even more difficult as Delta opens up a 2-0 lead. Top of the key, it's Carter Fisher around the ball screen inside the free throw line. A jumper from there falls out. Rebound hits the floor and picked up by Riley Wooden. Here comes Brady Hunt up the floor. He's at the top of the circle. Swings to the right wing and finds Blake Jones at the top of the perimeter as Burris is going to open up in a 3-2 moving zone. Hunt's in the corner, finds Jones on the perimeter. Movement gets Marshall loose. A wide open three from the corner. No, ball batted around, still loose, and last touch by Riley Wooden out of bounds. He bats it out on the baseline. Burris basketball coming up here.
Good ball movement and set play there for Delta out of that zone, and Marshall with the wide open look just couldn't connect. But this is what we're going to see tonight. Both teams are going to play a little zone. Both teams probably going to play a little man.
Here's McBride to Carnes. He's on the left perimeter, finding Fisher. Back on the perimeter, it's Stevenson. Now in the corner, Carnes has a wide open baseline, drives there, and in midair almost had it tied up by Riley Wooded. It's out of bounds as Carnes still had control when his back foot stepped on the baseline. Delta's been spectacular in 3 offensive possessions so far for Burris.
The length of their zone, Burris is going to have to make some adjustments. A couple of shots affected by the length of Delta.
Brady Hunt's in the corner. He faces up Grant Jones, single coverage this time. Jones to Marshall in the corner. It's Maynor. As Marshall goes into the interior, they find Wooden. He had a career-high 10 points last night against Oak Hill. Maynor, quick pass to Hunt. He faces on the free throw line. A series of passes gets it to Jones in the corner. Marshall driving the baseline underneath the bucket. Dump off pass to Hunt, who rolled to the rim right at the edge. He lays it in with his right hand.
Good basketball play by Neil Marshall, and Brady Hunt doing a nice job finding the opening in that zone.
Delta up 4-0 to begin the contest as Bryce Carnes is on the right perimeter. Finds Carter Fisher, the sophomore. Now to McKibben. Back to the top of the key, it's Stevenson. They feed Jones. He drives for a second. Then Fisher on the arc, drives into Hunt. A reverse lay-in, falls short, and a foul bails him out. And Carter Fisher will go to the free throw line for a pair.
And that's what Burris is going to have to do tonight. They're going to have to attack the basket, maybe get Delta in some foul trouble and get to the free throw line.
Riley Wooden's first personal foul. Here's Carter Fisher knocking down the first free throw. 7 points per game, 4 rebounds per game for the young sophomore that they have a lot of promise. He's got a lot of length at 6'1" and may not be done growing. Fisher the second hits that one too, and the lead is cut to 2. Delta with a 4-2 cushion to begin. They have the basketball moving from left to right. As Logan Maynor catches perimeter left. Marshall gets loose in the corner, gets the basketball for a moment. Cross perimeter, Jones fakes the pass in the interior, dribbles to the top of the key, finds Marshall in the corner. Marshall will drive underneath, baseline to baseline, and on the right baseline, pulls up for mid-range territory and knocks down 2.
That was a great job by Neil Marshall not picking up his dribble underneath the basket there where he could have gotten in trouble. Continued to dribble and got a nice little open look for him.
McBride dribbles out of trouble. They find Grant Jones. He gets into the lane, stripped by Marshall, picked up by Marshall. Here's a 3-on-2 for Delta, but Marshall backs up the action, picks up his dribble, finds a wide open Maynor. He waits for Jones to go over the top and then finishes while Jones is on the way down. And Joe Anderson's seen enough for Burris. He takes a quick timeout with 4:41 left in the first. Delta has an 8-2 lead. We'll take a break with them here on Muncie Sports Station.
County High School basketball on Muncie's Sports Station.
Your roof is there to protect your family. Make sure you're doing what you can to protect them. Sheriff Council Roofing has been helping families for generations. Remember to call Pete Dahlia or look them up at worryfreeroof.com. Out of the timeout, it's Burris down by 6 with the basketball. McBride's at the top of the key. He dribbles to the left perimeter, finds a cross-corner pass to Connor McKibben. Now Fisher, right wing McBride, baseline to Stevenson, a cutting Fisher. He didn't get to the spot in time, but it It's fumbled into the hands of Grant Jones. Kick out Stevenson. A three from the right wing is no good, and the ball bounces in the hands of Blake Jones for Delta. He's on the run into the forecourt. Lob pass in the corner. Hunt sets up in there, fires immediately as he was losing his balance on the near sideline and hits a three from the left-hand corner.
And there you see the athleticism of Brady Hunt collecting that pass that wasn't really on target, gathering himself and making a nice three-pointer.
Well, as a freshman on the football team, he was the starter at quarterback for 3 years. He was a wide receiver. Here's a wide open three for Burris to answer, and Colin McBride knocks it down. He's been hot over the last 4 games, averaging 14 points per game.
Yeah, that's what they need. They need somebody to hit some shots from the outside to extend this Delta zone. Maybe that open the middle for Grant Jones.
11-5, Delta on top by 6. Marshall dribbles past a ball screen. They slip it on the right wing to Wooden. Hand off to Marshall. He's wide open for a three, and he answers right back. Neil Marshall has 5 and hits a corner three. A timeout by Mark Detweiler with 3:17 in the first. Delta leading 14-5 at home over the Burris Owls. We'll take a break with them here on Muncie Sports Station. Credit Union is a member-owned financial cooperative existing for the good of its members. Your deposits are loaned to your neighbors. Together, we strengthen the community. Experience what it's like to be a member. First County FCU serving Delaware County. Out of the timeout, Burris down by 9. An interior pass intended for Stevenson. Knocked away, taken away by Neil Marshall. His second straight steal. Here's a handoff. Hunt facing up on the right wing. Cross corner press. Bragg for a three. The skip pass from Hunt set him up. Clay Bragg knocks down the three.
And Clay Bragg's been shooting the ball extremely well. Had a career-high 9 points last week. Doing a really nice job for Delta.
Here's Jones relocating to the left block, and a great pass by Stevenson, leading Jones right to the rim. That's Grant Jones' first 2 of the night.
Yep, good ball movement by Burris to get a quick, easy basket.
That's where he does most of his work inside the free throw line. Only 18 attempts from three-point range this season, as on a series of passes, they get Marshall loose for a right wing three. He misses. Hunt the offensive board and powers through Jones again. He's loving this matchup early on. Brady Hunt with 9 points in the first quarter with 2:15 to play.
Yeah, and he's doing everything. He's getting the ball inside. He's shooting threes.
Here's Stevenson, a corner three. It's no good. A rebound secured by Logan Maynard. He's tripped in the open floor as he was racing up the basketball floor. It's a foul. Delta 2:09 left in the first quarter, and they're out to a comfortable lead, 19-7 early, Rob.
Yeah, everything seems to be working right for Delta. The zone's doing a nice job. Offensively, they're making shots and getting good shots.
Delta 19 first quarter points. Their season high is 61 points against Pendleton Heights. Well, they're well on pace to break that here. Here's a great pass. Marshall had the basketball on the left wing. Hunt went from right perimeter right to the right block, and Marshall with a perfect pass to lead him there.
Absolutely, and now Delta's going to mix it up a little bit and go a little man-to-man.
11 for Brady Hunt, double figures in the first quarter, 1:38 to play in quarter number 1. Burris trails 21-7. Here's Jones on the perimeter on the smaller Bragg, just runs right through him. Can't get the lay-in to go. He was fouled before it went up potentially. No, they'll give him the continuation, and free throws coming for Grant Jones, the senior.
And that's something he's done a really good job of. He put his head down and went to the basket, and there wasn't anybody going to stop him.
Over 150 attempts from the free throw line this season for Jones. He'll knock down the first. This is the area of the game, as you heard in the pregame show, that Joe Anderson, the 7th-year head coach, wants his team to improve upon. They shoot below 60% as a team from the free throw line. Jones for his second. With a minute 30 to play in the first, he calmly knocks down the second.
Well, so far so good for Burris. 4 for 4 from the free throw line in the first quarter, so mission accomplished on that end.
21-9. Burris trails by 12. It's Jaden Fernie to the top of the perimeter, finding Marshall back to Fernie. A jump pass in the high post left. Hunt surrounded by 2 players. Kick out to Fernie. Corner to Bragg for his second 3 in the quarter. No, it went off the front edge of the rim and bounced over the backboard. Burris basketball with a minute 11 to play in quarter number 1, trailing by 12.
Yeah, but that's a good shot by Clay Bragg. That's one that he makes most of the time. So if you're Delta and Coach Detweiler, you'll live with that shot all day.
1:06 to play in the first quarter. As Burris trying to collect themselves from a 12-point cushion. Here's a great pass to Jones, leads him to the edge of the rim, and a foul. Grant Jones has his 6th point, and the assist, Bryce Carnes, as Jones pointed him out as he has a chance at the 3-point play.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. He does a really nice job of getting inside and getting good position, and then when he gets the ball inside, he's a big, strong kid and can finish at the rim.
Very good ball handler for his size as well. He'll take it from the perimeter and drive it, but he's also, you can post him up, very versatile big man. Grant Jones knocks down the free throw. He has 7 in the first quarter. He was quiet through the first half of the first quarter, and now starting to assert his will a bit. It's a 9-point lead for Delta. They have the basketball with 48 seconds in the first quarter. Jones is on the left perimeter. Top of the key, Marshall steps around traffic at the top, punts at the free throw line. They find Jaden Fernie right perimeter. Swing to Jones, free throw line feed to Hunt. In the corner it's Bragg, and 35 seconds remain in the first quarter. Jones, skip pass, Marshall, a pump fake gets him into the lane. Kick out Bragg, wide open 3 from the corner, a little long. Hunt follows out of nowhere, comes from the top of the perimeter and squeezes through traffic to tap 2 back in. Here's a collision into the Delta bench as Bragg and Marshall with the extra effort trying to save the basketball in. But what a play by Brady Hunt a moment ago. He's had a couple of those back-to-back games.
Where did he come from on that? And he just went up strong and tipped that in. It came from nowhere.
Here's Colin McBride, has the basketball, fakes the pass, now does to Stevenson. Extra pass, Carnes as a free baseline, goes underneath, slips to Fisher. He's right at the rim and will lay in 2 with contact and a foul.
Good job by Carter Fisher going up strong at the basket, and that's something that Delta's going to have to work on here. That's a couple 3-point play opportunities in the first quarter. And if you're going to foul somebody inside, foul them.
And the foul on Abram Stick, who's just fresh into the game. 9.1 seconds in the first as Fisher misses the free throw. 7 seconds to play in the first. And here's Brady Hunt bringing it into the forecourt. At the top of the key with 3. Steps to the side on the right wing. Slip pass Fernie. Extra pass. Brown gets it up in time, but a little long on the 3 attempt from the left-hand corner. That's the end of quarter number 1. Delta leads 23-14 over Burris and Delta High School. The second when we return next here on Muncie Sports Station.
Satisfied by just one thing, so I run to the phone and dial the number for Pizza King. I'm gonna ring the king. The king delivers. I'm gonna ring the king. An incredibly delicious royal feast pizza on the best crust you ever tasted. Ring the king. Pizza King.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
To wish good luck to all Delaware County athletes this year. Compete with passion, character, and respect. After quarter number 1, Delta leads 23-14. Have the basketball to begin the second. Here's Marshall, wide open. His second 3 attempt from the right wing misses. Rebounded by Carter Fisher for the Burris Owls. He brings it up the floor. He enters at the top of the key, has wide open space, fires a 3 off the front edge and out. Neil Marshall picks up the loose ball, and Delta on the way into the forecourt. At the top of the key, Marshall gets a ball screen, gets him to mid-range territory. Kick out to Fernie, top of the key. It's Jones back to Fernie. Thought about the 3, keeps it. Hunt, slip to Jones. He's wide open for a left wing 3, rattles out. Rebounded by Grant Jones for Burris.
Yeah, good job defensively for first 2 possessions for Burris. 9-point game, they need a bucket right here.
Here's Jones trying to power through Hunt. Didn't get the deep position he wanted and misses a banker. Rebounded by Delta. They push it into the forecourt. Jones slip past Hunt. Firing a 3 from the corner. No. Rebound comes off the neck of Carter Fisher out of bounds. He was boxing out Jaden Fernie and could not locate the basketball. Delta lucky to maintain possession in their half courts. Here's a pass into Hunt. A jump step to the right block. Out to Marshall. Drives into traffic. In between three Burris defenders. Pivots, but illegally. Slipped his pivot foot. It is Burris basketball with 6:56 left in the half.
Yeah, tough call there, but it looked like he did shuffle his feet a little bit. But like I said, Burris, a 9-point game. This is a big possession for them. They can cut it to 7 or 6, stay right in this ball game.
Carnes is at the top of the key. Jones comes off ball movement. He stands on the left wing. They're trying to find him. Now Carnes in a difficult spot. Feed to Kozlowski at the free throw line. Now back to the top of the key. Fisher steps to the side of the screen, tries to blow by Hunt. Awkward angle. Misses the shot. Underneath. Recovered by Kowalski, and Burris maintains possession. Fisher inside Kowalski. Pump fake gets him to the left block. He misses the shot, and it's rebounded by Delta. Fernie pushes ahead to Hunt. He's on the right wing. A long crossover inside the free throw line. Pull-up shot good.
I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. He just came down the floor, and how many 6'5" guys can do that and pull up in the lane? That's 15 points for Brady Hunt.
Delta has continued to win, even with Brady Hunt under 20 points for the majority of the last 5 games. Here's a missed 3 from Carnes in the corner. It's picked up by Brady Hunt for Delta. They lead by 11, under 6 to play in the first half. Marshall steps out of a 3, jumps inside and finds a free lane. That was a slippery move by Neil Marshall.
Very nice. That's something he's improved vastly just in this year. Is his ability to get to the rim is helped him out because he can shoot the ball so well.
27-14. Delta opens up a 13-point lead. Bryce Carnes is on the perimeter. Carter Fisher now left perimeter. Dribbles into Jaden Fernie, looks for the back cut. Instead, Jones has the top of the perimeter. He's guarded by Hunt. Kick out Fisher. A left wing 3 on the way. Rattles out. Rebounded by Neil Marshall for Delta. Here come the Eagles. Marshall pushing ahead. Finding Fernie in transition. Back to Jones. A pass intended for Maynard batted away, but Maynard recovers, and Brady Hunt controls right face-to-face with Grant Jones as Delta holds the basketball, leading by 13 in their half court.
Yep, Delta's going to slow the pace down and work for a good shot here against this zone.
Maynard had the basketball as Marshall trying to get loose on a cut to the rim, and a foul holding him up by Burris in the interior with 4:56 to play in the first half. And now Parker Foletic will come in for Jaden Fernie. The foul a moment ago on Bryce Carnes for the Burris Hounds.
Yep, nobody really in foul trouble at the moment.
Here's a quick pass into Marshall. He relocates with a dribble to the top of the key. Now Hunt faced up, thought about the 3. Jones recovered just in time. And Delta recollects in the half court. Jones in the corner. Maynard into the post. Hunt, a turnaround on the short baseline and hit it again. He's so easily able to just set and shoot for his size. It's a hard matchup.
Yeah, he's got such good touch, and that little 10, 12-footer, he's mastered that in 4 years at Delta. I think that should be on the scouting report, I think.
As Burris comes into the half court, Blake Jones fouls Colin McBride as McBride was trying to get by him. First foul on Blake Jones for Delta. It's a 29-14 lead for Delta at home over the Burris Hounds. Long crossover from McBride. A right-hand runner inside the free throw line. Missed it. Neil Marshall the board and push it ahead. Foletic in the corner. Gives up to Maynard. He's on the perimeter. Drives. Marshall, top of the key. And Hunt's to his left. They slip it to Hunt. He pump fakes. Gets into mid-range territory. Pivots. Kick out to Foletic. Has a baseline open. Now double teamed on the block. Hunt slipped to Maynard. He'll drive to that same spot Foletic was at and kick out for a Hunt 3 and hit it from the right way.
Wow. I mean, what do you say? I mean, how do you stop that?
Brady Hunt has 20 points in the first half. Under 4 to play in the first half. As Stevenson has the pass knocked away by Foletic. He's ahead of the defense for a transition lay-in. The steal in the bucket for Parker Foletic off the bench. And Joe Anderson has taken a timeout for Burris with 3:38 to play in the second. Delta opens up a 20-point lead, 34-14. We'll take a timeout with them here on Muncie Sports Station.
High School basketball on Muncie's Sports Station.
Tuffy Auto Service isn't going to sell you a bunch of stuff you don't need for your car. Rather, they will educate you and let you make the decision on what's best. Tuffy Auto Service on McGalliard Road, just east of Lillian Avenue. Out of the timeout, Kowalski faces up and finds Stevenson. He's on the right perimeter. Burris will feed an interior pass for Colby Crane. A missed bank shot comes right to Brady Hunt. And ahead he'll swing to Blake Jones from mid-range territory. Sets, fires, no. Filletti comes from nowhere. An offensive rebound will get him 2 free throws as he came charging to the rim.
Yeah, excellent job on finding the hole there on the offensive rebound. And Parker Filletti went way up for that.
Wow. Foul by Stevenson, and to the line will go Parker Filletti. His first free throw up and through. Filletti 3 points off the bench tonight. He's now hit that mark 4 separate times this season. He played a lot more earlier in the season when Delta was determining their bench rotation as Brady Hunt nearly had an offensive board off the Filletti second free throw miss, but it's Burris basketball. But they still use him in spots, and it's valuable to be able to go deep on your bench, especially going into sectional play. You never know when you're going to have to go that deep.
Absolutely. He's lost some playing time to Jaden Fernie, but Jaden Fernie's earned it, and it's nice to have somebody like Parker Filletti. I mean, he's playing hard tonight. He's being effective.
A missed 3 from the top of the perimeter. McKibben. Ball skips to Parker Filletti. Another rebound for him. He's had a great night as Hunt has it at the top of the key. Drives on a patient one. Kick in the corner. Marshall a 3, but it won't count. It was missed anyway. It was an offense or a 3-second call on the Delta offense. It is Burris basketball, and for the record, Filletti really hasn't played badly. It was just Jaden Fernie came in and just played really, really well and gave him a spark. He stuck with it. Absolutely,
and sometimes you got to go with the hot hand, and Jaden Fernie, like you said, has earned that playing time.
Here's a strong drive from McBride and may have pushed off. It's an offensive foul. Colin McBride will pick up foul number 1. He has struggled in the first half, a young man that was averaging 14 points per game in his last 4 games.
Yep, he's got an early 3, but second quarter's been held scoreless.
35-14, Delta leads by 21 points as Riley Wooden finds Blake Jones. He stands on the left perimeter with the basketball. Now top of the key, Marshall pump fakes on a 3 and maintains control on the waist-high dribble. Now in the lane on the high block right and finds Filletti right perimeter. Slip to Marshall, Hunt's posting up. Instead, Marshall tries to baseline, kick out to Jones. He'll drive into the paint. Kick out Filletti, a 3 from the right wing. He missed it long. Rebound way up high by Brady Hunt offensively, and Delta maintains control. Marshall, a quick pass by Hunt, a 3 from the right wing. No, ball skips out, still loose. Delta had it for a moment. Marshall goes flying into the first row of the far sideline. Can't save it in time, but he'll be rewarded with claps for the effort.
Neil Marshall went over the bench early in the first quarter trying to get a steal. He's into the first row on the other side. When one of your leading scorers is willing to do that, how can everybody else not do that?
Wow. Colin McBride off a ball screen will slip to Crane. Top of the key, it's Jones, and shovel to feet as he was driving to the free throw line. I think he was indecisive. He thought about firing a 3. We mentioned it before, only 18 attempts this season, but he was in between decisions.
And he kind of got caught in an awkward spot with the pass as well. It wasn't, he was kind of in an awkward spot just moving, but then the pass put him in an awkward spot and he just shuffled his feet.
A minute 35 to play in the first half. Delta up 21. Wooden stands at the top of the perimeter, finds Jones. He's on the left wing, defended by Grant Jones as Hunt slips the baseline, tries to get around Colby Kring, and a blocking foul by the bench senior. First personal foul by Colby Kring. It is only the 15th foul on Burris in the first half. Minute 25 to play. Bragg quickly in to Hunt. He faces off Jones in the left-hand corner. Now Wooden, slip to Jones, finding Clay Bragg. Now back to Jones. Jones with a step inside the arc, finds Wooden, slip to Filletti, into the post. Hunt. He's double-teamed, has the ball ripped away and taken away. Up ahead, here's McBride. Looks behind him to see where the defense is at and still maintains pace to get to the edge of the rim and lay in 2.
Nice play by Colin McBride, using his body to shield the defender.
35-16, McBride's second field goal in the contest. He has 5 under a minute to play in half number 1. It's Clay Bragg standing perimeter left. Now Filletti has the basketball in that spot. Quick pass, Hunt spotting up a corner 3. No. Wood in the offensive board. Kick out to Jones. He dribbles to the free throw line. Elevates for a pass to Filletti. Backing down Hunt. He's double teamed. Out to Filletti on the arc, and Delta slows the pace a bit. As Bragg stands right perimeter with the basketball. Now face-up Hunt. He tries to get around Kring, and another blocking foul on Colby. Kring just trying to get in the way of Hunt, but Hunt able to step aside him. Kring did not. Colby Kring picks up foul number 2.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot to put anybody in. You know, when Brady Hunt catches the ball in the middle of the paint, there's really not a lot you can do.
Jaden Fernie looks to check in for the final couple sequences of this first half. 35-16, that's the lead for the Delta Eagles. Bragg into Jaden Fernie, hops with 2 feet to elevate for the pass, and now to Neil Marshall with 25 seconds, and Delta maintains in the half court, holding the basketball, looking for the final look in a productive offensive first half. 13 seconds to play as the freshman Fernie finds Marshall in the corner at Hunt. They sag off of him, so he'll take the shot and miss it. Followed by Faletic, does not go. Kring secures the defensive board and fouled upon securing it. 3.7 seconds remain in the first half. Burris is going to have to go to the length of the floor. Here's the roll in to McBride with 1. He's across the half-court stripe. Pivots, gets a wide-open shot, and had the distance just a little off target. That is the end of the first half of play, with Delta leading at home over the Burris Owls, 35-16. The Mancinos of Muncie halftime show next. You're listening to Muncie Sports Station.
Just one thing, so I run to the phone and dial the number for Pizza King. I'm gonna ring the king. The king delivers. I'm gonna ring the king. An incredibly delicious royal feast pizza on the best crust you ever tasted. Ring the king. Pizza King.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
Sparks Computerized Car Care on West Bethel Avenue in Muncie is your complete auto service and maintenance shop in Muncie. Family owned and operated since 1990 with over 100 years of combined experience. Standard maintenance, tire service, brake repair, engine, transmission, and more. Sparks Computerized Car Care will take care of you bumper to bumper. Schedule an appointment online at sparksauto.net. That's sparksauto.net. Sparks Computerized Car Care in Muncie.
The legacy I want to leave behind is a better world. My father was in the Army, my grandfather was in Vietnam, my uncle was in Vietnam. It's just in my blood. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing once you look at it and see the bigger picture of it all. I just feel like we don't have enough people who want to step up and lead anymore. That's how I try to live my everyday life. I try to just help young people. That's our future. And so if we can build them up at a young age, it's their world at that point. I just want this world to be better than what I came into. The legacy I want to leave is just to build young people and to make them stronger, mentally and physically. I'm Private Christian Sufront. I'm a 92 Yankee Unit Supply Specialist with the Tennessee National Guard.
basketball on Muncie's Sports Station.
Thanks for listening to the Mancino's of Muncie halftime show. The full meal deal is available at Mancino's in Muncie. Your favorite pizza or grinder finished off with a visit next door to the sweet shop. Coming to pick up if you're on the go. Mancino's in Muncie on Bethel Avenue. A passionate supporter of high school sports in our community. A steal right on the opening opportunity for Burris by Logan Maynor. Gets Neil Marshall underneath, and he draws a foul, and we'll get a couple of free throws here. Good defensive play by Logan Maynor a moment ago.
Yeah, really good defensive play. They tried to run a little backdoor alley-oop play. But just, I think the pass was just a little bit underthrown.
Neil Marshall misses the first free throw. He'll have one more coming. The senior has been the perfect complement to what Brady Hunt has done all year long. He has 8 points after splitting a pair from the free throw line. 36-16, that's the lead for the Delta Eagles. Stevenson lost the basketball in his dribble. Bryce Carnes picks it up. Riley Wooden harasses him defensively in a really tough spot, and now a handoff in the corner. It's Carter Fisher. He dribbles out of trouble at the top of the key, crosses over Marshall, slip pass to McBride. He's on the left perimeter, harassed by Blake Jones. Now at the top of the key, Carnes, dribble drive, drives on Wooden. Wooden forces the give up, a handoff to Jones. He stumbles in the lane and lost the basketball. Blake Jones comes up with it. He speeds the other way, bounce pass to Neil Marshall, a right wing three on the way, missed it. Rebound by Riley Wooden, back out to Marshall. Fakes the pass, now does pass to Jones, steps out of a three, pivots at the high post left, and Marshall has it and gives to Hunt. Hunt weaving action, finds Marshall, diving in the rim. He pivots in the middle of the paint, and a nice touch shot with his right hand falls.
Yeah, we talked about it early in the first half. Neil Marshall's added that to his game where he can get in the paint and get some easy baskets. Nice move.
30 points combined between Hunt and Marshall of the 38 points that Delta has on the board currently. Here's a handoff to Stevenson, and off-ball offensive foul on Burris. There was a screen trying to get Stevenson loose and illegal. 6:32 left in the third, Delta basketball.
Yeah, Colin McBride just kind of stuck his leg out, and they're going to get you on that one.
38-16. Here's Jones speeding across the half-court stripe. He's in the forecourt top of the key. Give to Hunt. Bullet pass underneath. Wooden is held from his backside. Lays in two anyway, and a foul. Riley Wooden's first two of the night, and he'll go to the line to complete a three-point play. As everything offensively working for the Delta Eagles tonight.
Yeah, that Riley Wooden, I mean, you can't get better position on the post than that. They did a great job finding him in there, and he did a nice job going up with contact.
And Josh Stevenson picks up his second personal foul. Riley Wooden's free throw up and through. Riley Wooden, 6 for 9 from the free throw line this season, and Delta's lead is 41-16. They have been spectacular on both ends of the floor. Top of the key, it's Bryce Carnes driving right of the lane, backing down Wooden. Here's Jones going to the lane. He was fed by Carnes, but it's poked away by Hunt, taken away by Delta. Here's a pass up the floor. Carnes saves it on a steal from going down the sideline. Now Jones in transition, runs over traffic, lays in two anyway, over the top of Brady Hunt. That's what Grant Jones can do in transition.
Yep, he went straight to the rim and did a nice job of avoiding the contact.
9 for Grant Jones in this game, leading the Burris Owls as Delta brings it the other way. Brady Hunt catches top of the perimeter. Jones got physical with him for a moment, and he gives right to Wooden. Now underneath to Hunt, they feed the alley-oop. He doesn't slam it, he just lays it in with two hands above the defense.
That was the same play that Burris ran, but no disrespect, but it's a little easier to run to Brady Hunt.
Trouble in the half court for Burris. A turnover with Hunt racing up the floor. All Grant Jones could do to prevent a break was fouling.
Yep, and if you're Mark Detweiler right now, you can't be more pleased with how this game has gone if you're Delta. Burris has had a lot of momentum the last couple of weeks, and Delta's just 25-point lead, and I didn't expect this.
I don't think anybody did. 9-9 Burris, and they've been playing well against 3A and 4A opponents over the last couple of weeks. Here's Marshall at the elbow left, backs up the dribble to the left perimeter, jump step, pivots, finds Hunt, faces up at the free throw line, leads back for a jumper, and it falls in.
Nice job. Got the hometown roll right there. This is nice playing at home.
24 for Brady Hunt. Earlier tonight, he passed Josh Bryan for 4th place on the all-time Delta scoring list. He continues to climb that list, and Hunt has had a spectacular season and career. Drive on the left baseline. Drone is cut off there. It's picked off by Brady Hunt on the loose ball. Hunt for Delta pushes up the floor. The free throw line in the paint. Leans in for 2. He's fouled in the act. Missed his shot, but free throws coming for Brady Hunt as he continues to add to his total of 24 points with 4:38 left in the third.
And that's 3 fouls on Grant Jones. That's a big situation there for Burris. You can't afford to take him out of the game with foul trouble.
Grant Jones picks up his 3rd personal foul, and Brady Hunt to the line. The free throw up on the first good. 25 for Brady Hunt. It has been, if you look at the numbers, not a great 4-game stretch compared to what he's done the rest of the season, but Delta's won. They've won 7 in a row, 10 out of their last 11, and Brady Hunt knocks down the second, and that's all Brady Hunt cares about. Yeah. You heard in the pregame interview, Mark Dittweiler and the coaches are just so impressed and enthused by his ability to lead and his ability to let other players progress around him. Here is Jones on the right perimeter. He'll drive right to the lane in traffic. Deflected at the rim. Picks up his own miss and missed the second opportunity. Wood in the board. Maynor ahead to Hunt. He faces up on the baseline. Pops from there and hits again. Brady Hunt with 28. It is all flowing for Brady Hunt with 4:07 left in the third quarter. 49-18 Delta. The other way, McBride, a quick 3, missed it. Maynor bats the basketball, trying to get up high for a defensive board, but out of bounds. Staying with Burris with 3:59 in the third.
Would it be safe to say that Brady Hunt is in the zone? I think that's what it's called, right? Are you in the zone?
There's been several times this season that he's done that, but for a 3-quarter game, this is as flowing, as in a zone, if you'd like to say it that way, as he's been for a 3-quarter stretch. It's Jones, a low crossover, spins at the free throw line, elevates for a shot at the left block and missed it. Brady Hunt the board, he'll push up ahead. Delta on top by 31. Hunt brings it in the forecourt with a little bit of pace, gets around the edge to the lane, missed the shot, but Wood in there to clean it up. Offensive boarding putback.
And coaches love that. We heard Coach McLaughlin from Westdale this year say, we've got an offensive play for that guy. It's called an offensive rebound. And that's what Riley Wooden's done tonight.
Here's Carnes in the lane trying to feed Jones. He was pushed from the back by Riley Wooden. His second personal foul, 3:27 to play in the third quarter. 51-18. Delta has been spectacular. As Jones to the top of the key finds Carnes. Burris on the attack with McBride. He stands at the left perimeter now, top of the key. Bounce pass to Carnes, slipping to Fisher. Now in the lane, Jones somehow reels in the pass and leans in for 2 in the middle of the paint.
That's good, strong hands by Grant Jones. That pass was up for grabs, and he just snatched it out of the air. He's in double figures now with 10.
11 for Grant Jones. Handoff by Hunt. Feeding Blake Jones. Now finding Neil Marshall. Around traffic. Slips the edge. Now leans in for 2. Missed the shot. Abrams missed time to jump to get the offensive board, and Burris the other way as Fisher, long crossover, gets him to mid-range territory. He'll fire from there, misses everything. Blake Jones the board and pushes ahead of the defense. Here's Jones, the slip pass to Hunt. Oh, what a 2-man game in transition. Jones kind of looked away. He ran to the backcourt, knew it was perfect, and Hunt lays in 2 again.
Well, it's easy to trust Brady Hunt on the fast break, right? So that great pass by Blake Jones.
30 for the 4th time this year for Brady Hunt as Grant Jones gets deep position inside, and he's fouled immediately as it's the second team foul on the Delta Eagles in the second half of play as Blake Jones and Brady Hunt are going to check out. 53-20, Delta on top by 33 with 2:29 to play in the third. Burris the inbound, and Stevenson finding McBride. He's in the corner right. Now Jones a pivot, goes to work on Marshall. A jump step inside, and Marshall ties it up. It'll be Delta basketball. Marshall got in there, tied it up with both hands, and Delta back with it with 2:23 to play in the third.
And that's really a great defensive possession there for Neil Marshall in particular. He stayed right in front of Grant Jones and put his hands right on top of the basketball.
53-20. That's the Delta lead. They're on their way to their most productive offensive night of the season. As Clay Bragg dribbles to the top of the key. Now finds Marshall. He stepped inside the arc. Now relocates the dribble to the right wing. Slip pass to Bragg. Steps out of a 3. He relocates to the left wing. Finds Marshall. Drives into the lane. A jump step. Took the contact of Jones. And then Marshall may have taken that extra step. He tries to lobby that he didn't have control of the basketball, but it is Burris basketball anyway.
Yeah, nice drive. Probably one dribble too far, but, Grant Jones is a big man to run into in the paint.
No question. Under 2 to play in the third as Colin McBride brings it into the forecourt. It's Josh Stevenson on the left perimeter. Now top of the key, it's Carnes. A crossover gets him to mid-range territory, picks up his dribble. Free throw line feed to Nate Drown. Now to the free throw line, Crane goes to work, and he traveled as Delta gets the basketball back with 1:39 in the third.
Yeah, and we'll talk to Coach Detweiler obviously after the game, and he's going to be very pleased with the offensive output, but he's got to be really thrilled with the defense tonight because they've mixed it up a little bit, zone and man, which they haven't done a lot of this year. It's been mostly zone, so he's got to be really happy with how they played.
Jaden Fernie brings it into the forecourt. He gets around a ball screen in the lane, right-hander off the glass and a foul. That's a freshman with a move like that. A three-point play for Jaden Fernie coming.
That doesn't happen when you're a freshman in high school basketball. That was impressive. Hanging in the air and drawing the contact.
Fernie, the free throw, rolls it in, his 13th game of experience in his freshman career, and they've been asking him to do more and more by the week. 56-20. That's the Delta lead. Stevenson gets the pass in the corner. He'll dribble on the baseline, get underneath the lane. Quick pass to Drone. To the free throw line, Carnes is fouled as he was dribbling with pace near the rim.
It's like the second foul on Clay Bragg.
Clay Bragg, the guilty party there for the Delta Eagles. In the backcourt, it's Colin McBride. Reels in the pass with 1:10 to play in the third. McBride steps to the left wing. Slip pass to Kring. He'll dribble right to the lane. Elevate. Banker, no. Over the top. Somehow, Abram Stint gets the defensive board for Delta. Near side 4, he'll find Parker Folletic. And 55 seconds remain in the third as Riley Wooden has it at the free throw line. A handoff to Fernie. He's on the left perimeter. Had some space for a moment. Now Colby Kring gets that defensive assignment. Clay Bragg dribbles to the top of the key. Finds Abram Stitt. A jab step and now dribbles to the top of the key. Stumbled on his dribble. Finds Bragg and Fernie in the corner. Delta on the attack, hesitates, now blows to the rim, and Jaden Fernie gets there with ease and lays in 2.
Yeah, 5 points in the third quarter here for Jaden Fernie, doing a nice job getting to the basket.
58-20, Delta's lead is 38. Here's we're nearing the end of the third. 18 seconds, ball deflected, Riley Wooden takes it away. 2-on-2, Wooden has it knocked away from him, and he slipped near the baseline. That was an awkward fall, and Wooden seems to be okay. And Burris basketball with 12 seconds to play in the third, and they're going to take Riley Wooden out now.
That was a big man's dream, right? Leading the fast break.
No question.
That's why big men don't lead the fast break. But that's a dream come true for Riley Wooden. That's got to be.
Here's Josh Stevenson, drives the baseline. Now Carnes in the corner. Around traffic between 3 Delta defenders, and he's bailed out by a foul. 2.4 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play.
And they're going to get Clay Bragg again. That's going to be his third.
Bragg with a couple of fouls. And here's a swing pass in to Kring. Now top of the key with 1. It's McBride off balance. 3, knocked it down. Top of the key. Colin McBride with 8 points in the contest, slowly approaching what his threshold has been over the last 4 games. He cuts the lead to 35 as we head to the fourth. 58-23. That's the Delta lead after 3. The fourth when we return next here on Muncie Sports Station.
For more than 35 years, online and through our branch office locations, Ruoff Mortgage has helped people discover, finance, and move into their homes with confidence. From the moment you send in an application to the day you get the keys, Ruoff keeps things moving exceptionally fast. By sharing knowledge and professional guidance, Ruoff Mortgage helps people see the potential and excitement in the homeownership experience. Visit one of our convenient branch locations or get started online at ruoff.com.
AM and W275AJ Muncie, 102.9 FM. You're listening to Delaware County High School basketball on Muncie's Sports Station.
Grant Jones gets right to the edge of the rim to start the fourth quarter and fouled right there. And Grant Jones right back to the free throw line for a couple of free throws. All content and live play-by-play is coming from the Henry Community Health Broadcast booth. Suffering with chronic pain, interventional pain specialist Dr. Scott Taylor and Dr. Andrew Davison want to help you manage your chronic pain. Check out the different methods they have available and what they could do for you at RelieveChronicPainNow.org. As Grant Jones knocks down the first free throw, he has a team-high 12. The second up and rolls in as well friendly for the senior. 1,000 points reached for his career in the Monday night win against Muncie Central. Jaden Fernie steps to the left wing, somehow wide open, and knocked it down calmly. 8 for Jaden Fernie. That's all come from the third quarter on, all second half points for him.
He's played a nice second half, and one of the things you can tell defensively, the only thing that can score is the ball.
Jones takes the initiative in the teeth of the Delta defense and fouled with the strong take. Grant Jones to the free throw line for a pair.
You see Grant Jones coming out in the fourth quarter being very, very aggressive. He's gotten to the basket twice here in the first 40 seconds of the half.
Jones for the first free throw is up and through. Grant Jones with 14 points.
Yeah, he's developed into a really nice player.
Yes.
Very nice player.
He's going to be a tough matchup in sectional play. There's no question about that as Jones misses the second. Rebound secured by Maynard. He stumbled and then picked it up. Now Fernie picks it up and Delta safely ahead of the defense as Hunt is in the forecourt. Hunt has it. One-hand pass to Fernie. Top of the key, Bragg jumps up high for the pass and dribbles to the left wing, Hunt. He swings to the right wing. Fernie for another three, this time from the right wing, a little flat. Rebounded inside by Nate Drown. Here comes Grant Jones. The other way at the top of the key, left of the lane, slips through Maynard. In the lane, a lay-in went halfway down and out. Colby Crink somehow picks up the offensive board. Fight on the deck for it. Hunt has it and slips ahead to Marshall, and then a foul just before Marshall could get ahead in transition. The foul was on Colby Crane, his third for Burris, and now Delta will be shooting free throws the rest of the way for the final 6:44.
Somehow the football player came up with a loose ball. You think that looked like a fumble drill?
1-and-1 free throws. Brady Hunt missed the first free throw, and the rebound batted out of bounds by Neil Marshall, so it will be Burris basketball with 6:42 to play. They trail by 35 in the contest as Grant Jones slips a pass in the corner. Nate Drown will fire a three from there and knock it down. The senior knocks down the triple, his 8th of the season. Nice spark off the bench for Burris.
That looked confident, too. Nice job in getting the ball in the corner and knocking down the open three.
Clay Braggs on the left wing. Slip to Maynard in the post hunt. Give right back to Maynard. Now to Bragg. In the corner, Fernie will dribble out of trouble. Elevates for a pass. Now Marshall. A pump fake gets him inside the lane. He's trapped there and then fell over a travel. Good, solid interior defense. They've started to kind of get to Neil Marshall's tendencies. He's done that a couple of times. That time the Burris defense wins.
Yeah, that's a couple of those. It's just one too many dribbles.
Here's Jones, hesitates on the arc, now dribbles into Jaden Fernie, freshman on senior, as Jones goes to work, spins on Fernie, high, Baker, Grant Jones. That's where the veteran takes over.
That was a nice move, using the glass. It looked like a old school basketball, from the 50s, 60s, using the glass.
Man. Jaden Fernie at the top of the arc is Burris with a 2-3 moving zone. Now in the corner, Marshall slipping the hunt. He's on the baseline as Maynard cuts out to the top. Fernie, he'll fire another three. Missed it. Rebound inside, batted around. Drown saves it in, but he stepped out before he got the basketball back in play. So it is Delta basketball with 5:24 to play, up by 30. Here's Clay Bragg to lob into Jaden Fernie. Fernie's at the top of the perimeter. He finds Marshall left perimeter. Now at the elbow, Fernie, extra pass Bragg, a corner three from there, hit it again. Clay Bragg has his second triple of the game, and a timeout on the floor by Mark Detweiler. 64-31, Delta leads by 33 with 5:13 to play. We'll take a break with them on Muncie Sports Station.
High School basketball on Muncie's Sports Station.
Reed's Plumbing in your town takes pride in supporting Delaware County student athletes. Call today 744-7950 to find out how they can help you. Call the best, flush the rest. It's Reed's Plumbing in your town. Timeout. Here's Drown. A pull-up jumper from the baseline. Just hit a three from there. And then we have an off-ball foul. It's a loose ball foul on Burris. So Delta basketball under 5 to play. Delta has a 33-point lead at home.
Yeah, we're going to be shooting the bonus here from here on out. So Neil Marshall's going to get the free throws.
So 1-and-1 free throws after the Clay Bragg three just before the timeout. Delta has eclipsed their highest point total of the season. 64 points. Their season high came against Pendleton Heights with 61. That was back on January 22nd. As Marshall knocks down the first free throw, another coming. Marshall has 11 on the night so far.
Yeah, he's really done a nice job. He's really rounded his game out this year, and I've been very impressed with how he's played the entire season.
And Neil Marshall knocks down the second as well. 12 for Neil Marshall. He'll check out. Parker Foletic in for him. 66-31. Delta on top by 35 as Grant Jones brings the basketball into the forecourt. Crossing over Jones once, twice, now left of the lane, a difficult drive, gets his own rebound off the miss and puts two back in. Grant Jones has 18 points tonight.
Yeah, just more physical right now than anybody that Delta can put out there.
That's the style of game he likes to play. He's gotten going here in the second half as Blake Jones steps around traffic, finds Parker Foletic. Back to Jones, slipping to Bragg. He's at the left wing and dribbles around the zone. A ball screen to Foletic, back to Bragg. Now Maynard, a jump step inside in between traffic. Jones will throw a pass inside. Foletic at the left side of the rim will miss the shot and free throws coming. Just off-ball movement has been spectacular and hard to notice by just watching the game, but when you see many passes go right inside, it's not the pass, it's the cut.
Absolutely, and Parker Foletic did a great job of finding the opening on the bottom of that zone. And Blake Jones, we saw the no-look pass that he made to Brady Hunt. If you're open, Blake Jones is going to find you.
Foletic knocks down the first free throw. The second is no good. So 1 for 2 on that trip as Logan Maynard checked out of the game. So did Brady Hunt moments ago. 4:10 to play in the contest as Stevenson to Drown. He's on the top of the key. Now a free throw line feed to Kring. Inside cut for Jones. Can't save it from going out of bounds. He just fumbled the basketball, and Blake Jones helps Greg Jones up. And Delta basketball leading 67-33.
Yeah, and look for Delta to do the same thing on this possession. Move the ball, look for a good shot, preferably in the paint or a wide open three.
So Jones steps to the right perimeter, popping out Wooden, gets the basketball, now to Parker Foletic, around traffic to the top of the key. Riley Wooden has the basketball, he's going to fire a three, it went halfway down and out. Blake Jones high for the board, he slips it to Wooden who tries the lane and then is fouled. Riley Wooden for a couple of free throws as Wooden comes up limping just a bit, but Riley Wooden just so tough will have a couple of free throws here.
He wants to get in on the three-point shots. I think, he led the fast break earlier. Now he wants to shoot the three. Then he made a nice, great cut into the paint. He's going to get some free throws here, but he wants that three.
He was shooting them in pregame and before the second half, so capable as Wooden's first free throw good. Riley Wooden with 6, and one more coming for the senior who just got his career high last night in the win against Oak Hill. He had double figures for the first time in his career. Wooden misses the second opportunity. Ball skips in the corner, and Abrams Stitt picks up the loose ball for the offensive board. Bragg to Wooden. He'll try the top of the key three. Miss it off the front edge. Rebound secured by Adam Combs, who's in the game for the first time for the Burris Hounds. Now Jones crossing over Blake Jones, top of the key drone, another three. This time misses top of the perimeter, and Abrams Stitt the board for the Delta Eagles. 68-33 Delta. Here's a pass that's batted away. Combs goes on the deck to take it away for Burris. Good defensive play on a deflection, and Combs picks it up. Burris the other way. Combs is at the top of the key, and Grant Jones has it on the smaller Blake Jones. Fakes the pass, picks up his dribble, right wing. Inside to Kowalski, turns over his left shoulder, left hand hook goes through for Ian Kowalski.
Nice move, too, over the right shoulder, left hand. Very nice.
They've been talking about how this young man's been a project ever since he's joined the program, and it's plays like that to show just how far he's come. As Wooden's on the right wing. In the corner, it is Stitt dribbling out of trouble with 2:32 to play. Delta leads by 33. Feletic relocates to the left wing. Burris still using a zone, and Wooden's on the right wing. Back to Clay Bragg, slipping to Feletic. Inside pass is an errant one, and Jones picks it up ahead of the defense. Step through to the lane, right-hand floater with touch.
And that's one of the things right there with Grant Jones. He's so big and strong, but he's got such great body control. Just like that move right there, that you wouldn't think he would be able to make that move, and he made it easily.
10th 20-point game this season for Grant Jones. 2:07 to play, 68-37. That's the lead for the Delta Eagles. The full meal deal is available at Mancino's in Muncie, your favorite pizza or grinder. Finished off with a visit next door to the sweet shop. Come in or pick up if you're on the go. Mancino's in Muncie on Bethel Avenue, a passionate supporter of high school sports in our community. I thought it was really neat to hear a story from Joe Anderson, as exciting this week has been from the Muncie Central win to another 1,000-point score in school history, and talking about Grant Jones, just speaking about the young man, that the coach had to remind him that he was getting close to that milestone, talking about Grant's just a quiet kid by nature, all about the team, and they had a private conversation basically saying, hey, this is a thing that's going to happen. It's a big deal. Embrace it. But he had no perspective really on that whatsoever, and that just shows, when you have a leader like that, it shows why Burris is having the year they're having, and the resurgent year at 9-9 here.
I agree 100%. And Grant Jones is not going to come out on top on the scoreboard tonight, but man, does he play hard.
He does.
He plays so hard.
Parker Feletic's on the right wing. At the top of the key, it's Blake Jones. Dribbles around trouble to the free throw line. Now slipped to Logan Maynor. He lost the basketball in the lane, but somehow Delta controls it as Jones in the corner. It's Crabtree. He'll pivot around traffic and find Logan Maynor. Now in the lane, it's Stitt. Stitt dribbles in the paint, and we have a foul. So 1:36 to play, and to the line Abrams Stitt will go. His 16th game played this season, and the first free throw no good, a little long. One more coming, and a host of subs will now come in for the Burris Hounds. As Grant Jones will check out for his final regular season game of his career, but certainly more coming in the semifinal Friday round of sectional number 24 in Class 3A. Both of these teams in the same sectional, but on opposite sides of the bracket. The only way they would meet would be in the championship a week from tomorrow. Here's in the corner. It's Combs. In the lane, Fisher, pump fake. Now a lay-in, a little strong. Got his own rebound, somehow off spin, and gets to the edge and draws a foul with 1:19 to play.
Yeah, good strong move inside by Carter Fisher, and this is what you want at the end of these games here. This is good experience for these guys. All of these guys. Now Carter Fisher obviously plays a lot, but some of these other kids for Burris, we saw Combs in the JV game. He looked pretty good out there, so this is good experience for him. They may not need him next week, but they might need him next year.
Fisher knocks down the first free throw. One more coming for the sophomore. up and down moments for Fisher this year. He knocks down the second, has a really good stroke, just a sophomore, so a couple more years of development for him. 68-39. Here is Blake Jones dribbling between traffic, throws a pass off the knee of a defender, and now finds Nick Crabtree to Jaden Fernie. Back to Crabtree. He's at the left perimeter, now at mid-range territory. Swings a pass to Folletic. Folletic hesitates in the lane. A back cut in the lane by Crabtree. Instead, Folletic rolls through, and a right-hand runner falls in the middle of the paint.
Nice move. Roll up and under, shot faking underneath the defender. Good job.
Career high for Parker Folletic tonight off the bench. He has 6, 70-39. First time this year Delta has hit the 70-point mark. Here's a lean-back jumper, no good from Bryce Carnes, as Blake Jones reels in the pass ahead of the defense, and Delta controls. Now Jones has it poked away. Folletic has it back to Jones with 30 seconds. Pass inside looking for Abram Stitt is batted away by Burris with 28 seconds to play. Abram Stitt will be the inbounder for the Delta Eagles with 28 seconds to play. The Eagles on top by 31 points. Drive by Crabtree. Pass trying to wrap around the baseline. Batted away by a series of Burris defenders. And a couple more sequences here, and we'll have the formalities as Folletic controls left wing. Handoff to Jones, and Delta is just going to hold for the final moments. What a regular season it's been for the Delta Eagles. And really what a regular season it's been for the Burris Owls. Tonight, Delta on top. They win in the regular season finale at home, 70-39 over the Burris Owls. Delta finishes the regular season 16-4, 8-4 at home. Burris falls to 9-10 and 3-7 away from home. We'll return for the Walls Furniture Post game show. You're listening to Muncie Sports Station.
University Avenue Dental, Dr. Greg Popular focusing on total health. And now for more experience.
Devil basketball history. So that's what and those two guys, you know, that are with you, you know, hey, and I mean this in all seriousness, we don't win, and you guys that know anything about basketball, these guys play harder than anybody. The effort they put forth is second to none, and the dirty work that they do, and I mean, they make us go. So I'm very fortunate with Riley and Logan. And Logan, I want to use him as an example.
On Muncie's Sports Station.
He all of a sudden just found different gear, and he's been arguably, you know, I can say maybe our most important player in terms of toughness the second half of the year. And now when you've got Riley looking to shoot, I'm looking to really good now. He thinks he's going to shoot three now. Now, hey, we're going to cut this net down. It's a good practice for you for a week from now, all right? Cut that net down. The Eagles do play in Game 2 next Tuesday night at Newcastle. That'll be against Slow Face J County. Here's official scoring for tonight's game. First for the Owls, Ian Kowalski with 2, Nate Brown with 3, Carter Fisher with 6, Alan McBride with 8, and leading the Owls tonight with 20 points, Graham Jones. For your Eagles, Jake Fernie with 8, Harper Athletic with 6, Clay Bryant with 6, Riley Wooden with 6, Logan Maynard with 2, Jim Marshall with 12, and with a game-high 30 points, Brady Hunt with 30. And as Mark mentioned, he did pass Josh tonight to go into 4th place on the all-time scoring leader.
The play of the game is brought to you by the Muncie YMCA. So why something you wanted to be a part of, but this is one thing again. The YMCA Muncie offers financial assistance. Season, they moved to 16-4 with a 70-39 victory over the Burris. We're good to go, man. We got about 20 seconds here. Nice win.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Welcome back inside the Walls Furniture post-game show tonight. The Delta Eagles complete their regular season with a win over the Burris Owls 70-39. As we're joined by Mark Detlow, the head coach of the Delta Eagles. Coach, defensively again, fantastic, limiting Burris to 39 points. They had really started to show themselves offensively. We talked about that pregame, but we got to talk about your offense. I thought moving without the basketball was as good as it's been, and we've talked many times. Hey, you couldn't have done something like this early in the season, but this is another one of those milestones. Would you say the way you cut without basketball?
It is. We actually had a little film session from last night, and all we clipped was some offensive possessions where our spacing wasn't very good. We talk about letting the ball breathe a little bit, and we're jamming things up, and we weren't giving Brady the room that he needs. We're talking about, we know they're going to send a second guy at him, let's make that second guy have to go 6 steps instead of 4, you know, and that's a big deal. And so I thought our spacing was better, body movement was better. And so, I mean, that Burris team is, well, they've competed with a ton of teams, and, you know, I mean, so to do what we did defensively and then to combine that with the offensive movement, when you get all those things together, when you get our effort, you know, the toughness things that we kind of hang our hat on, then when you combine that with some offensive execution, it can make it special.
You know, it's hard to feel this way at times for fans that may have watched this season, but, you know, we talked about all the players around Brady Hunt that have gotten better. But Brady Hunt himself has gotten better this season, too. His ability to pick his spots, and he sees something different every night. And at this point of the year, there's got to be a feeling in a way you might have seen everything with him. Yeah. We'll see what happens with sectional play, but you know, there were some moments where you did struggle in the middle of the season where he just didn't find the spacing, and it's not all on him. It's stuff we talked about before, but he was just so smooth and never panicked. You know, there were moments where you expected that early in the season, but he's progressed. What's he progressed the most?
Well, the patience piece, you know, you have to be a little bit patient, you know, and then we use the analogy I used last night. You got to play chess, not checkers. You know, sometimes as a player, you know, you can't think just one possession at a time. You got to think 3 or 4 possessions at a time. And sometimes if you give it up and you get it back a second touch, or you get somebody going, and now he's got his teammates going, you know, and so you get your teammates going a little bit. Now again, it makes it tougher to help.
Mark Detlower is the head coach of the Delta Eagles tonight. They complete the regular season 70-39 over the Marshals. You just mentioned it on the floor a moment ago to the crowd here about the HHC having a chance, having a share of that time with a team that's 16-4, and it's cliche oftentimes. Look, the record means the most when you get to the postseason, but you know, the 16-4 record for this team, an HHC team, from the moments of the things and effort and the different ways you progressed. What does that mean for a team like this that has come such a long way, Coach?
Well, we've had to do it a different way, you know, than our last couple. You've seen it. You know, this team we've had to do it by grinding games out. We've had to do it, you know, on the defensive end and hustle plays, and I kind of referenced Logan Maynard. You know, we don't win a lot of those games in January and February here without some of these just tough plays. Keep those 50-50 balls, you know, they use that terminology, that he just seemed to come up with a lot, you know, and then, you know, now, and Riley's playing the best basketball of his career, you know, I mean, we can trust that he's going to do some things offensively now that a month ago, 6 weeks ago, he was not even looking for. So that's the growth piece, you know, we kind of referenced that with Brady, you know, he got 12 last night, you know, Brady got 12 last night. And we went on the road against a good Oak Hill team, and 6 weeks ago that wouldn't have happened. You know, we had 3 guys in double figures. Again, 6 weeks ago that wouldn't have happened. It was a 2-man show, and now it's not. You know, we're understanding that our basketball IQ is pretty high right now. So pretty pleased with it.
Coach, you saw Jay County not too long ago during your matchup on Tuesday in the second game of the quarterfinals. You know, similar styles, and you played a tight game. Is that the type of game you expect on Tuesday?
Well, I don't want to spot them 10 like we did last time. We got down 10 early, and, you know. So let's try not to do that. If we, you know, do what we do defensively, you know, we feel like we'll have a good shot at the end.
Mark Detlower is the head coach of the Delta Eagles. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
That's Mark Detlower, the head coach of the Delta Eagles. They get it done tonight against Burris, 70-39.